Hey y'all, it's your girl Brittany. I'm back. I'm better with another video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, like the video, and make sure y'all click that bell so y'all can be notified of every time your girl posts, cause y'all know your girl posts frequently. All right, y'all already know what we doing. We jumping, skipping, hopping, leaping, doing the Dougie because my Dougie. All right, make sure y'all click that link down below in the description box. It is a link to my Patreon. Go over there and become a member so y'all can hear me run my mouth even more over there because I do give it up real raw over there. All right, without further ado, let's get into this video. So before I get into my video, I wanted to tell y'all my thoughts on like all this week's shows because honestly, baddies, Greek life, boring, going to sleep. But Young and Reckless, I really do feel like was the only somewhat entertaining show this week. They were kind of boring too. They had bits and pieces where it kind of like went down, it sunk, and I was like, I see myself skipping through. But overall, this was like the best show out of the week for me. For me. All right, and we have to give a special shout out to Miss Ferrari. She's been putting it down. And today is her birthday. I love that. So, mind y'all know how I was telling y'all my predictions and everything. So, I don't know necessarily if I had put in my predictions. I don't necessarily remember if I had said that Ferrari and Ivory was going to get into it this episode or the one coming up. But they did put it at the end, like the beginning of them getting into it. And I was like, good. Because I thought they was going to do her dirty and put in when her Ivory get into it. Like, we know Ivory do the countdown on her. We absolutely know that. But, like, I'm still thinking because in like the little snippets where they pull sounds or pull like certain sentences, Ferrari's like, get out my face, but get out my face. So I'm like, oh, Ivory finna get her on the boat too. And I'm like, dang, that's messed up for them to do. Like when it's Ferrari's birthday, like how y'all gonna do that? When it's her birthday time. But they didn't do it. So I love that for Ferrari. I'm glad they didn't do her like that because I'm like, girl, like that'd have been messed up, for it to be your birthday weekend and your birthday, and they do you like that. So I'm glad they didn't do Ferrari like that. I'm glad they kind of drawed it out a little bit more. So, it's not we see Ivory do the countdown or Ivory tussle with her on her birthday. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So, baby, y'all know we continue off with Ivory Jr., aka Nugget, chicken nugget, no sauce on the side, going off on Sierra. So I ain't gonna lie, Sierra was the one who got up out her seat. You got up out your seat. You got up out your seat. You don't supposed to get out your seat. You should have never got out your seat. That's what it was given. So Sierra got out her seat. She wanted that. She needed that. And us gave it to her. Point blank, period. Ivory Jr. had to show her dad what it was looking like, what it was hitting for. Ivory ends up, giving Nugs her props and just saying basically, she's just like me. Shawty all up in the club, on the boat punching the goods. She just like me. Match made in heaven. Soulmates. Soul ties at this point. So Ivory ends up saying that, boom. They tell them to, stop, whatever, boom. Okay, cool. So Sierra, like, if she need that again, we get in the house, she can get that again. We can run it back. I'm like, Sierra, do you really want to run it back? You don't want to run it back, Sierra. You don't want that. You don't need that. You don't need that. You don't need that. So Nug's like, girl, what up? What up? What up? She wanted a second round. So with the second round, Miss same person who was knocking Sav's eyebrows back is the same person trying to be security for Nug and Sierra. You the same one being security to some girl, let's twerk, play it off, cause y'all see the laws. And some of the laws right there. The laws right there. That girl don't care that the law's right there. Sorry, not sorry. She don't care. Like, to me, like, she went back on some, like, okay, I'm still proving myself. I'm still letting it be known. Like, I'm still on that, in my opinion. Like, that's the reason why she went back. Like, it was given very much, okay, I did my big one on you, but I'm gonna keep going because I know my father would keep going. Sierra ends up going inside the boat, and I ain't gonna lie. Good, I ain't gonna lie. What am I talking about? Lord Jesus. Okay, but I'm not gonna lie. Ferrari definitely, I feel like really this episode was truly being a whole. She was not giving like, oh, I'm just here for be like OG girls. I ain't studying new girls. Like it was giving host this episode. Like no lie, no tea, no shade. It was giving very much host vibes over there. Like real talk, clocking it. So she ends up saying, why they still talking about it? Like we on a boat, we on this beautiful boat. We finna go jet skiing. Like we finna have a good time. Why is they still talking about you and what you got going on? So Sierra didn't get up and start being delusional. And this is where she lost me. Sierra was like, I think I was sticking it in with her. Nobody said anything. The room was quiet. They were silent. I was silent watching it because I rolled my eyes, looked around a little bit, like somebody was in the room with me saying, clock it. Because I'm like, girl, clocked. Okay, me and my imaginary friend had to keep looking at each other because I'm like, what day? What moment in time did you think you were sticking in there with her? Maybe when security was pulling y'all apart, but other than that, it was no sticking. Okay, calm down, relax. Now, they go to the next scene. Ivory ends up giving Sierra. She ends up giving Sierra her props for getting out there. With Nucket, win, lose, or draw, but really like lose, just lose. Cut the other two words. But she just like it's good that you just got out there. Like you got a little heart. They love to be like that. Look good, got some heart on her. That's their favorite part. After they park somebody, they got a little heart on them. I'm gonna get them their props. They got some heart. We move on to the next scene. More so, we gonna skip the little small bus because they wasn't doing that. We're going back to the big bus where the big bosses sit at, okay? Where the big things happen and big things popping. So I will say this. I think Trill wrong in this situation. And I'm gonna explain why first, why it's already on my mind. Trill wrong because I think Trill felt like Nug was already giving Ivory Jr. So her anxiety, or like just her in general, she was already prepared for Ivory Jr., and Ivory. So she was kind of already guarded. So when Nug said something to her about the drink, you already on guard because okay, yeah, you picked up her drink by accident. Nug said that she kept having to say something to you, and y'all demeanors are very different. Nug is super calm, like, did you hear me? I'm asking you, did you hear me? Don't do that. Don't pop it. But I'm like, Nug ain't even popping it. Like from what we see, the edited version. Nugs ain't even popping it. Nug just like, did you see that's my drink? Like you keep grabbing my drink and that's my drink and I said that's my drink. How many times I gotta tell you? And you over here like when I say that, then you like, oh, I ain't hear you, girl. I'm not even paying you no attention. Like I think that Trill overreacted, and I just think that she was already on guard, and she was too on guard like for something that was small. So Nug sat down, like Nugs really wasn't on that with Trio. She wasn't, like, for real, for real. Like from what I'm picking up, she was the aggressor in this situation. So Ivory was like, girl, stop doing all that hollering, like you're doing too much, because she really was overreacting. So Trio said, who you talking to? You think you are, Big Black? Who you talking to? I know you ain't talking to me. What you need to do is keep feeding your face and don't say nothing to me. I was like, girl, who you? Hold on. I'm the big bad wolf around here. I've been waiting to see who else needed that. You need that? So she like almost like throw salve out the way. She like, move back. Boom. Her and Renee start getting it. The security break it up, but Renee's still in. Renee still, and them punches was giving soft as ever. It was giving, I'm gonna get my licks in now because I know she gonna tell me up later. But them licks was giving soft, Renee. They was giving soft. Now, Sav said in her confessional that she threw Renee arm. But to me, when all this was going on, you should have made clear, like, Renee, I told you to stop. Like, girl, just chill. Like, security got her, da da da. I think that's why Sav wouldn't have got hit if she would have vocally said, like, Renee, I told you to stop. Like, stop. chill, back up, because Ivory not, from what I see, able to, fight back. So I feel like Sav was trying to look out for Ivory because she know Ivory longer, and they said they was just together 2 weeks ago. So you threw Renee arm off, like telling her to stop. Even though you cool with her, but I think you should vocalize that instead of not saying nothing. And yeah, you are playing security. Like, is they giving you an extra check? So in the midst of all this altercation, they end up pulling Trill somewhere, and you hear Ferrari saying, "Sav, why you keep breaking stuff up?" So Sav is about to say what she about to say, and baby, when I tell you, you would have thought Ivory had a baseball in her hand, pulling it back to throw it. Baby, I seen Sav hit that wall. And y'all know, as Ivory did what she do best, but she was pulling wigs mostly. Like, girl, you must have heard these wigs 1,300. Like, you keep pulling everybody wig off, and then you threw the wigs in the ocean. I don't like that. Like, our oceans already got a lot of junk, and you add more. Like, girl, it's not that serious, not that deep. Don't add anything else to the ocean. So we throw you anyway. So look, being funny, just just a joke. Obviously, can't nobody pick you up, not me at least. So, um, Sav, to me, even her reaction was filtered, because if somebody just surprised you with a clap like that, like straight to your face, like it was like her jaw. She hit her jaw and like the top of her neck. She like, I don't even know what she said. What she was like, she asked in a confession was she cool, but she was like, Ivory, like, what was that for? That was very filtered, because that's not what you really wanted to say. I'm not gonna say what you really wanted to say, but if that was somebody else, the reaction would have been unfiltered. Like, it was more filtered to me than anything, because you knew who you was dealing with. You knew if you said the wrong thing, she was gonna come back at you. So Ivory was like, stop breaking stuff up. Stop breaking stuff up. I don't feel like that was necessary for her to put her hands on Sav, because Sav broke something up. I don't feel like that was necessary for her to put her hands on her. But I also feel as though, or believe, not feel, believe as though Sav knew what type of person she was dealing with. You know, I do think to an extent Ivory do stand on like certain principles, but because she's so violent, it's kind of like you just feel bad for the other person. Like, I'm always just seeing myself being like, dang, that's messed up. Like, dang, another one. Another one. Because y'all be trying to be friends with her, and in actuality, like, she don't care. She on there with anybody, and that's not a person that I would necessarily, want to do a show with, be cool with. Just and I mean, to an extent, Ivory do be making sense with a lot of stuff, but it's like every little thing, every little altercation, she feel like she got to put her hands on somebody, and who wants to deal with that? Especially when y'all on the boat, the laws out there, it's so much going on, and production is still having to tell you to stop. You just was breaking up Nug and Sierra, but then when Sal break up yours with Trill, you over here smacking Sal, because Sal was trying to look out for you. But to me, in that moment, Sal probably didn't grab her arm. Sal probably was truly just breaking it up, for real, for real, and said in that confessional that she grabbed Trill's arm to make her stop, to get off Ivory, because it made more sense for her to come in saying that. So when we see it, it's like, oh well, she was trying to look out for Ivory, but most likely she was just being security, trying to have everybody kumbaya and break stuff up, and not grabbing no arms. Probably, like I said before, being security. And to an extent, yes, it's not her job to be doing that. Like, what, you gonna be security and cast member and confessional gangster? No, you cannot be all three. Like, no ma'am. We need, they had you as a confessional girl. You the confessional girl. You the it girl for the confessionals. Trill and you, they got y'all a little tied this season with you and Trill. And you supposed to be giving more this season, but not security. So I definitely understand them saying like that's not her job, but I don't necessarily feel like she had to put her hands on her to say that. So Sav goes in her confessional and she like, girl, we was just chilling in Miami 2 weeks ago. Like, we actually friends. Me and you we ain't had deep talks and everything, sleeping in the same bed. All that, like we friends. And where we been. And here you go smacking me like that's crazy. So Trill ends up coming back out. Trill started throwing stuff. So Heifer felt like she needed to pop it because, obviously Nugs and Ivory popping it, she need to show her strength too. This is a perfect opportunity for her to pop it as well. So Trill was throwing stuff and Heifer threw something back and was like, girl, don't throw that at me. And Trill said, girl, I know you ain't talking. I know you ain't get up. And Heifer got up like she was on that. I mean, I'm not surprised that Heifer got up. The twins was getting on my nerves. Talking about Big Ivory. Get this, Big Ivory. Get this, Temper Towel. Shut up. You're annoying. Go back to the trenches. Y'all getting on my nerves. Like, yes, I feel like they've already peeped game on the twins, and that the twins really not like that, especially the little twin, and they do end up calling that out this episode. But the little twin ain't even like that for real. And the big twin really just a lot of talk. She ain't about them for real either. But yeah, so and let me say this too. Sierra confessional when she was talking about nugs in the beginning had me ha or ha or okay. Sierra with them looks, them expressions took me OUT out. So Ivory ends up seeing Renee and ends up smacking her down. These drawing back smackdowns is crazy for Renee and Sav. Like, just, their neck. I know their neck is just over there hurting. Like, dang. So they end up removing Trill and Ivory away from each other. They have Ivory inside, Trill outside. Trill end up saying, you from the slums. You sleep on the floor. No blanket. I got a blanket. That junk was hilarious to me. So they continue on, and Ivory like, I'm gonna get you, Bookie. Mac, 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 Mac. I'm gonna get you down. I'm gonna take that away. And Trill come and says, you don't scare me. You do not scare me. You're not scaring anybody over here. Nobody's afraid of you, Bookie. So what's gonna take me every time is Trill saying that Ivory look like Geico. Hilarious. But what's hilarious, like to the floor, got me rolling, is Trill posted a picture of Ivory and what is it, a lizard? She posted them two together. What make it even better than she did Nugs. She did Nugs, and y'all know Lola from the Shark Slayer movie. Will Smith voices the main character. When I tell y'all that had me hollering because if Nugs don't look like that fish, I don't know who do. When I tell y'all, I burst out laughing, busted out laughing because it was that funny. I was like, Trill played way too much. Trill is hilarious. So Ivory ends up telling Canadian Barbie and Sierra that if she talks to the other girls, because they were like, she's not our friend, we don't know her, talking about Trill. She was like, okay, if I see y'all talking to her, it's up. I'm on there. Ivory, they don't even know you. They don't know you to be loyal to you. Like, no shade, but like you just got there. Why do you think that they owe you loyalty? And they literally just got there. Like, you just got there. So she's telling them, if I see you talking to her, anything, it's up. I'm on y'all, all this, all that. And of course, like, these are the women who are mostly here just to have a good time. They're not necessarily here for all that. And she's involving them in her drama. And she was like, on the homies. I'm like, we are not on self-central baddies. This is not that aesthetic. And it sounds crazy that you saying on the homies on this show when the show is not giving it. So she ends up seeing Ferrari, talk to Trill, and I'm guessing trying to calm Trill down or whatever. So she ends up calling Ferrari fake. She like, you fake, da da da. Ferrari like, how am I fake? I'm the host. Like, after talk to all y'all, like, girl, It's not like that. So Ivory like, tell her to come out here for a fade. Tell her I want a fade. You know, Ivory, once again, like I always say, employee of the year. She is always on her job. She is clocked in. She is one of them women who is a manager over their job and wants to get their job all the way correct. Like, baby, when I tell you, like she told Trill, I got paid to come here and tear y'all down, and she is making sure that that alleged 10,000 is all the way turned up, and they get a great show out of her. And you know, whether she got an echo fool, be the villain, show all her booty me, she's gonna do that. And it's just like, woo, I can only imagine being there. Never want to be there, but I can only imagine it because seeing it, and you know, of course, they edit certain things out. I'm sure at one point, them girls like, "Can we get off the yard? I don't even want to be here no more. I don't even want to be around her because she is just doing the absolute most." Now, during Ivory and Ferrari's conversation, I feel like this is like one of the realest conversations I ever seen Ferrari had. Like, Ferrari is truly doing better in her position this season. I feel like she knows her place, she knows where she stands, and she's very comfortable being the host this season. This is not a trial and error at all for Ferrari. So, like I said before, I recall her face. She like, girl, I want to have fun. Like we enjoying ourselves. She ends up telling her to line her up for her face. She said, yeah, when we get to the house, you can do whatever you want. But right now, I'm trying to have a good time. I'm trying to have fun. You don't need to be on that. Like, yes, I understand they paid you to come here and do that, but you don't need to be on that. Like, you're on that, and you need to calm down. You need to sit down. I understand that they brought you here to do the most, to act a fool. You know what I'm saying? To give a good show, and you can do that, but you don't have to overstep it. You don't like you forcing it, and it's no need for you to force it. You're forcing it for no reason. And you know, I'm glad Ferrari like stood up for herself, her cast, you know, and stood up for like the Young and Reckless brand, you know, overall, because it did give Ivory was forcing it, and it was very much dragged out, and she very much was doing a lot just to park these girls. And I definitely understand like the laws out there. I don't necessarily if they're still out there, but most likely they are. The laws out there, you know, y'all are on a boat. Y'all don't necessarily want to get kicked off the boat. Y'all don't want to damage any of these people's stuff. While y'all on the yacht, like, okay, we could talk crazy. We can kind of like get into it. But that's it. That's all. We're not finna fist fight it out on a boat. Like, no, you tripping. Like, you need to calm down. It's on site when you barely know these folks. You know, line it up when we get to the house. So Kai ends up having a conversation with the twins, and you could tell like little twin was very irritated already. They had got on her nerves with making it seem like she really wasn't on that for real, and that she's scary. So Kai ends up saying, "Y'all do whatever y'all gotta do. Like this young and reckless, y'all need to be more reckless, you know, because." Basically, in so many words, it is giving, you know, big twin on there, but she really ain't. She, you know, we thought y'all was from the trenches. We thought the hands was gonna give trenches, and the hands did not, you know, add up. So Kai ends up telling them like, you know, y'all need to get on that. Y'all need to be on that. Little twin was very defensive, and she was like, well, you know, when I was on there, y'all was saying, oh, you know, this and that. Y'all politicking. So we trying to do something different because in the trenches, you know, we on that. We doing a group activity every time, but you know, we trying to do something different. Y'all shouldn't try to do nothing different. Like I'm not condoning it, but yeah, it is giving boring. It is giving big twin. Really can't get in there like that. Your little ponytails is, you know, we calling y'all out. We seeing the country truly like fully. You know, we're seeing the Alabama jump out of y'all and scare us. So I definitely understand where Kyle was saying, because it's like, you know, it's two of y'all, so we would think that y'all would be doing more, y'all would be more active, more turned up, and it is giving Lil Twin scary. And I said that in my last one. I'm like, it's like Lil Twin really don't be want to get out there for real. Big Twin really down for it, but two really can't fight for real, we being honest. Um but Lil Twin really just trying to keep the peace. You could tell that the big sister really wanted to come, and Lil Twin, you know, was just here for the experience. Now, father and son have their alone time. Father and son end up talking about when they get back to the house, they are marking these girls OUT out. Okay, they are letting it be known they are on that and that they need that real bad, real bad. So father, like I said, lets it be known that, when they get back to the house, they own that. Son ends up agreeing and saying, we gotta get these girls out. It is called Young and Reckless, and they're boring. Boring. Now, Ivory did make a little sense. Like, if you want to be cute, you want to be pretty, just go to Coming to Miami. Even though they do the same thing on their show. And like, don't get me wrong, like I do believe that she spiced it up when she came. I do think like she was a tornado just going through there, wrecking everything that was in her path. I absolutely believe that. But at the same time, I believe stuff was getting woke up organically before she came. And like I said before, I feel like she was just forcing a lot of stuff for like no reason. Or, she made a reason up in her head to make it make sense for her to put her hands on somebody. And they said when they get back to the house, they own it, both of them gonna eat. So I'm trying to see who Nug gonna get, because who really do you have a problem with because you was in a scene with Sierra, and it didn't seem like you and her still had a problem. You and Barbie, it don't seem like y'all really have a true problem unless you want to keep, getting your issue off with her. But I'm not truly understanding who Nugs needs that from, more so because I'm just like, Nugs, like who else can give that to you? Like Ivory, okay, she finna get into it with Trio. But even with Ivory, after you get into it with Trio, who else need that? But I'm guessing she wants to get into it with Mel as well. Obviously, we know that the scene of the urine will be coming up most likely sooner than later. So probably next episode for real. Probably like legit next episode. But Ivory has two people. I'm not sure who her son needs. So we see Sav downstairs looking sad, just looking toe down, very distraught, very depressed, very much, feeling sorry for herself. And, going through her memories of like, when was I supposed to see this coming? Why me, Lord? And I definitely understand that, because your friend absolutely hit you hard, like real hard. You got Vaseline all over your face now, wig in the ocean. You calculating up how much that wig costs, how this gonna look on TV. So you really going through, you know, the elevator of emotions. Like I definitely get that. So Sav like, I don't want to talk. Mind you, this happened like in the afternoon. So y'all been had her just sitting down here by herself, and y'all just not getting the cameras and stuff, and y'all just trying to talk to her about it. That's crazy. So Sav was like, I don't want to talk. I don't want to be on camera. They like, oh, you signed a contract. You're gonna be on camera. I don't know what you're talking about. So she was like, I don't want to talk, whatever. And Kai is basically there trying to give moral support. And Kai like, she don't want to talk. They grown. They should be able to talk it out. All this, all that. Just saying what Sam needs to hear at that time, I believe. Instead of saying, she not your friend if she put her hands on you. Like, what is there to talk about, to be honest? Because she put her hands on her. I really don't feel like it's nothing to talk about, because she literally put her hands on her with no type of problem. Like, it was what it was. She was on that. She needed that. It was no warning. They had no beef, and she just popped off on her. Like, what do we need to talk about? What is it that me and you need to have a conversation about when you just didn't mind putting your hands on me? Like, let's be for real here. Okay, move on to the scene where Ivory and Sav get to talking. To me, Ivory was not trying to hear Sav out in no type of way. She barely was even listening to Sav. She just was like, 2 + 2 is not equaling 4 with you. I don't trust you. We had all these plans to come here and be on Legacy and Mel, and now y'all all up here singing Kumbaya and everything. I just don't trust you, and I really just don't want anything to do with you. Stay out my way. Don't jump in nothing I got going on. You didn't need to jump in that. that had nothing to do with you, which is true. I do feel like, it had nothing to do with Sav, and Sav did need to stop playing security, but I don't think that, you need to put your hands on her to tell her that. But Sav was trying to talk. Ivory wouldn't let her talk. Honestly, it was more like Ivory needed to get off of her chest what she needed to say. She wasn't stun Sav and what Sav had to say, or whatever excuse, Sav had for her. But like I said before, if somebody hit me like that, it's what are we talking about? We talking about let's catch another fade, like a fair one. You know, if it's not that, I don't know what else that we need to be having a conversation about. If I'm just being totally honest, like, to me, as just a woman, that girl ain't mind putting her hands on you with no type of problem. Like, she ain't mind taking it there with you. So, in my opinion, it's really nothing to talk about. Like, we're not friends no more. We not cool. I'm not trying to explain, why I did what I did. Like, you put your hands on me. You put your hands on me. Like, it ain't nothing for us to talk about or talk out. Now, I will say Ivory definitely has a point though. With setting that boundary of being like, if you gonna be their friends, you can't be my friend. Don't be around me if you gonna be around them. Pure point blank. I definitely understand that because her and Sav were making plans on, like, I guess fighting them or whatever. So I do understand, like, Ivory somewhat just being confused when she come in the house and everybody on, peace, love, and happiness mode, and she didn't get the memo till she got there. So I definitely understand her feeling like she's being bamboozled, or everybody switching up, everybody want to be cool now, and try to save themselves because she not there. Yeah, and maybe they didn't know if she was coming or not, so they like, oh well, it ain't no need for. I truly don't have a problem with Mel and Legacy for real. For real. I was just going along to get along, with Ivory, but it just let you know that people are scared. They are scared. These girls are terrified, and I do not blame them. Do you see her? Do you see her? I do not blame them. Like, the fact that, she was able to talk to two people, the Barbie girl and Sierra, and basically threaten them and say, oh, if you don't do what I say, it's up, you're going to get it too. You don't even know them. And then you telling people to go to other shows because, on this show is, you get reckless. And I do believe, like, she do go back to the title, and the title is Young and Reckless, but I think her recklessness is just to another level where it'd be like, oh my god, girl, calm down, like, we could take it, but I think you be letting the title of it get to your head, because the title say one thing, but the aesthetic is very different. The aesthetic is pretty girls, make money, boss girls, da da da. They might tussle, it might be a cat fight or something small, but it's not what you and your son is giving. Like, no shade, it's not giving that. More so, they everybody except, in my opinion, Nugs and Ivory fit the show. Not the Barbie girl. I ain't gonna lie. So not SoCal. Canadian Barbie to me does not fit the aesthetic um of the show, but Ivory don't fit the aesthetic of the show, and Nugs don't either. Like, all three of them to me just don't fit the aesthetic of the show. Even Sierra, honestly, Sierra don't fit the aesthetic either. But I do feel like the Trills, the Milans, even Baby Tyson, Ferrari, Sav, Heifer, like, all them fit the aesthetic to me a little more. Like, just because, in my opinion, Ivory and Nug, it's the aggression is so strong for a show that's more like pretty girls, doing stuff, but they have like a bad side to them too. It's more just a bad side when I see Nugs and Ivory, like, it's more just like we hit a rumble. And it's like, this not the show for y'all to rumble. Like, y'all not on Isaiah's show. On Isaiah's show, that's all, that's them to find shows. But like this show, it could be in the category, but it's one of the lower find shows. Like they have a good time, they turn up, but it ain't like where they just face to face all the time. I ain't gonna lie, Big Bag do make a lot of sense. She just is making a lot of sense. When she clocks out, she's like, ain't this young and reckless? Then you say this season you was gonna be on something different. It's like you're on the same thing. Cop and please. I said, ooh, chat her up. I said, ooh, that's how you eat her up. It was the calmness, it was the facial expressions, it was the sentence, it was everything. And one thing she gonna do is remind them producers of what they asked her to do. She is gonna continuously remind them, oh, y'all knew what y'all was doing when y'all called me. Y'all knew what y'all wanted when y'all called me. So therefore, if y'all knew what y'all wanted, I'm giving y'all what y'all wanted. Don't tell me to calm down, which is true. That's why I say stop inviting her to the party. Because y'all truly be knowing what y'all be doing when y'all do tell her to come, and then when she don't calm down, it's like, oh my god, an animal. But y'all be telling her like, hey Ivory, do your thing, we're gonna give you this check for, and when she turn up and she is being the show and she, you know what I'm saying, being employee of the year, y'all like, ooh, that's too much. I do believe it's too much, but that's just let it be known. They tell her, do your thing, we're not, girl, do your thing, like we really don't care. That's how I know is they don't care. Because I mean, how many people has she parked at this point, or threatened or anything? Like she don't mind getting into it with none of these girls. And it's sad. Some it's like the devil was there, something like that she said. And then she was like, oh, you will not get far in life with that attitude or just thinking that you're gonna do all that fine. Baby, where was that energy when she was parking everybody else but you? Y'all know what type of person y'all dealing with. Y'all already knew what it was giving, what it was hitting on when y'all was cool with her. And it's how y'all truly feel about her. And honestly, they was all copping please and becoming cool by y'all because they probably thought that you weren't gonna be there, the big bad wolf. And they like, well, I really ain't got no problem with these girls. So I'm gonna be back cool with them. I'm gonna be cool with them because I truly ain't got no problem with them. I, you know, I want to be cool. Like I want to come and have a good time and not have to, scope the scenery, keep my head on the swivel. So I definitely understand that. But to me, you already knew what it was hitting on when you was friends with her. Y'all already know how she get. Like y'all know she get like that. She really get like that, and she always need that. And she's ready to park anybody who's in front of her. Y'all already know how she give it up. So to me, it was just like, no, I really don't want to hear it because y'all already know how she is. Y'all already know she been like that. She's like that. She's always been like that. So I really didn't want to hear what Saf was saying because when she was your friend, you didn't tell her, oh, you weren't gonna get far with that attitude. Everything was cool, breezy when it was everybody but you. So please get out of here with all that. So Renee ends up going upstairs with Legacy and Mel. She ends up recapping the story of stuff that we just seen between her and Ivory. She ends up telling them that Ivory ends up popping on Sav too. They like, Sav? She popped on Sav? That's crazy. They looking crazy. Now they feeling blessed and protected because they've been upstairs the whole time having them a ball. They told security like, don't let her come up here. Like, keep all that stuff at the bottom of the boat. Let us enjoy ourselves and have a good time at the top. And they had been having a good time. So Mel ends up going into like this monologue of like, I'm happy. I'm on a boat. I'm having a good time. Like, don't nobody need Ivan to come up here and be doing all that. Like, I'm glad that we up here and we not down there dealing with what y'all had to deal with. So Trill just continues to tell the story as far as what Ivory did and everything of the sort. Lexi ends up giving Trill a word of advice, and she's like, girl, don't trust nobody here. Like, if you ain't coming in with that person, don't trust nobody. I believe that's great advice to an extent because with Sav, I do think to an extent she can trust Sav. Renee and Sav are still cool and they clicked immediately. And I think to an extent Sav been having Renee back. I'm not necessarily saying that she jumping in her stuff or taking a fade for her, but I feel like to an extent Sav been very much here with Renee. Like not like a girl that you could really get along with, where y'all could become friends. And it does give, after this experience, they did become friends. And it's giving Young and Reckless always have two people link up and become cool. Because as we know, Mel and Legacy end up getting real close, and it seems like Trill and Sav are real close now. Mel ends up going off. She is pissed. Um, so I guess she got paid 5,000 and Sav got more than her, and she is irritated and pissed off by the fact that Sav got way more money than her. Even if it was $10, she don't deserve that 10. And she wasn't doing that but talking and popping it in her confessionals. Y'all did not need her back that bad. She was not the show. It was me and Legacy who was the show. So why would y'all give her more money than me? Absolutely not. We're not doing that. So she popping off, doing the most. She dragging it. She talking about some, oh, I was under the influence. Go shut up. Anyways, this is what you always do as well. I will not continue to spare you, Mel. This is the real you. Just say when you get mad, this how you act. Like, girl, you you not Ivory, but you have Ivory tendencies as well. So do all that popping off, it's your time to shine type of thing. So Ivory goes to the steps and she antagonizing her. She like, you need that, you need that. And she like, not for 5,000. I don't need it for 5,000. And I guess because Ivory just kept asking her, do you need that? Do you need that? She just throw a bottle of water. I don't know where they get liquor from, baby. That was a bottle of water that fell. So she threw a bottle of water down there. Ivory was like, okay, you need that then. And Ivory go in her confession. I didn't say anything to her. I didn't look at her. Girl, you went to the steps asking her, do she need that? What are you talking about? Y'all get on my nerves for real. You went to the step antagonizing her. You seen that she was up, she was woke, and that's who you wanted to get on anyway. So you was at the steps, trying to make it an issue with her. Baby. So the big bad wolf is up. So the liquor, water, whatever was thrown on her, and baby, she started giving it up. I mean, giving it up, giving it up, giving it up, giving it up. Okay. So Ferrari laughing. I said, girl, I ain't no joke. I ain't no clown. I ain't up here being no circus. I ain't no stand-up comedian. What's so funny? What you giggling for? What you laughing for? What's so funny? So Ferrari's like, I told you get your issue in the house. Like, just get your issue in the house. I say, I'm gonna smack you too, cause you keep key. You want to key? I'm gonna show you what the key is. So Ferrari like, why? I just told you to get your issue in the house. So let me say this: for this scene, in my opinion, this show they not friends. Like they really don't talk outside of them coming to Young and Reckless. That's what it gave me, because I do believe that Ferrari was looking at Ivory like a puppet on the screen. I do believe she felt like she was the golden white girl who, couldn't be touched, and oh, I'm safe, I'm protected, she gonna make sure I'm good. She ain't gonna never turn on me. And when she turned on her, she like, oh my God, like, why is she turning on me? And I could say this, Ferrari was saying, I told you to get your issue in the house. That ain't got nothing to do with me, which is true. Like, it don't have nothing to do with her. She is laughing, but Ivory taking it as she's laughing at her, and she upset. And it's like, why you laughing? Let me give you a reason to shut up and not laugh. And in my opinion, once again, she just doing the most, but this is why y'all bring her here. And you as a CEO, this your stuff. And she like, I'm trying to respect you, da da da. But in actuality, Ivory do not respect her. That's why she got in her face. That's why she was doing what she was doing, because she know Ferrari can get touched too. If she wanna touch Ferrari, she can. So Ferrari just kept repeating herself. And Ferrari, I could say, went back and down, but she didn't get up out her seat. She was like, get out my face. When Ivory kept getting right up on her, and you in a vulnerable position where you sitting down and she's standing on top of you, she like, I told you to get your issue in the house. Like, I told you to get your issue. She like, yeah, but you keep laughing. Like, ain't that funny? And once again, to me, this is just the personality disorder coming out, in my opinion. And let me also add this in there too. Ivory tried to justify Mel throwing that water on her by saying this is why, when I see them, I'm already on that. No, you went to them steps antagonizing. Mel wasn't even talking to you, wasn't thinking about you, nothing. You went over there antagonizing. So when you was antagonized, she threw the liquor or water on you or whatever. But you can't justify that because you like, y'all told me to be cool and I was being cool, but no, you weren't being cool. You being cool is, sitting there minding your business. You went over there and got in her business trying to figure out what she had going on, and you asking her, do she need that, when she wasn't even talking to you. She wasn't talking to you at all. So you ask her, do she need that? And she wasn't even talking to you. You went and got in her business, and you told me, oh, well, this is why I want to go on soccer when I see him. Like, that girl wasn't even talking to you. So no, you put yourself through that. And also this, I'm gonna say this too. I just to me, Ferrari don't have that much power, and we know that. Like, it's no shade to you, Ferrari, at all. I just know you don't have as much power as you play. But to me, y'all don't need to bring her back for season 3 of Young and Reckless. This is a good popular show, but I think y'all will be okay if y'all don't have her. I would have preferred Naj on the show. At least Naj know how to act, but Ivory don't necessarily know how to act. Her decorum is very low. Her demure is very low, especially with this show in particular. South Central Bad, if she would have did all this, it would have made sense. But her just going crazy on all them like that, it don't make sense. It's like I said before, it's very forced in my opinion. And I just believe as though, they just don't need to bring her back, especially how she acting right now. And yes, it's entertaining, but it just don't fit the aesthetic of the show. And as much as she want to say go to Coming Up Miami and stuff, it's given stay on South Central. Stay over there with the God in heavens and on my souls and all that, because this ain't that over here. And take your son with you. Oh, let me also say this too before I wrap it up. I felt like Ferrari should have said something to Mel about throwing that liquor on her water. I feel like you big bad wolf. Why is she getting up saying something for you? She don't never get up to say nothing for you. What do you want her to speak up for you for when you have no problem with speaking up for yourself? What is Ferrari gonna do? And Mel has already shown that she don't care nothing about Ferrari. If anything, Ferrari probably was happy that this moment had occurred because Mel had been picking on her all the other episodes, So of course she ain't finna go over there and check her because she feel like this is going in her favor. Like, yes, Ivy finally finna park her because this girl been talking out the way to me. So I don't really understand why Ivory wanted Legacy to go say something. I do understand, like, it's her show, but you big Ivory. What can she do to stand up for you that you not already doing? But that's all I got for you guys in this video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, like the video, and click the bell. I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Bye.